Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome to a special reading. This is where we're really going to do all signs, but we're going to do them sign by sign. So we'll start with Aries and go through the zodiac wheel. And this is where, well, first of all, I want to say hello, September. So this is for September, and this is really asking. We're using the same format we used for the monthlies, but this is asking your spiritual team, what do you need to know right now? Whatever it may be, whether it be love is coming in, whether it be just to clear your intentions, whatever it may be, I'm open. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use Mother Mary, not use her, but we're going to give Mother Mary the honor of opening up the reading. And this really will be for everyone. And for each sign, what I'm going to do is take one psychic vision, I believe. One crystal vision, it's psychic tarot, crystal vision, and one gilded tarot for each sign. And then we will take one major arcana. And the major arcana is really going to be what energy will best suit you for the month of September. So each will have their own. And I did bring out the romance angels. If love comes out, of course, we'll go a little deeper. So I'm going to try not make these real long, but they will be time stamped. I want you to know that. And just real quick, something new I just learned about. Well, in the month of September, really, was hyping. So if you enjoy the video, if you feel it brought you some value, please consider hyping it. It's a great way of helping any creator without any money. Just telling YouTube, hey, I like this video, promote it more. So it's a great way of helping us, really. So anyways, that off the table, let's go ahead and I'm just going to calm my mind, relax, invite our spirit guides in. I say our spirit guides because I know my guides will connect with your guides. I believe we're all one big soul family anyway. So this is definitely reading through our spirit guides. Another way of saying that is this will be psychically. All right. I'm ready. So feel free to ask your guides to give you signs of confirmation. They're here, they're ready, they're willing. But I would say they would also tell you to trust your intuition, like what feels right to you. All right, so this is for everyone for the month of September from Mother Mary. Mother Mary, your message, all of us, for the month of September. Of course, it's usually energy that it's not monthly. It's like something that we can just take on. Look at that. That flipped around, so we'll take that. All right, we've got a few. We have Father. Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. Father. Love. Love, love, love. Love is the answer to all of my questions. Faith, granddaughter's name. Faith. I have faith in God to heal this situation. And then last but not least, his tenderness. I feel a little bit of the Empress's energy in this. So I have a feeling it's calling like for us to use more of our Empress energy, which is loving and nurturing, but powerful, courageous. Creativity is off the chart. So anyway, tenderness. I am both gentle and powerful. So keep all these in mind. Those who may have issues with a father figure, there could be healing coming in that direction, whether the father has crossed or not. Let's put it this way, the father is crossed, the father now knows everything. Love is the answer to all my questions. Faith, I have faith in God to heal this situation. And then last but not least, tenderness. I am both gentle and powerful. I feel like that is a good message to always remember. All right. So I'm just going to give each one a quick shuffle. They are pre-shuffled, by the way. Let's give them a quick cut. And just a symbol that we are open and ready. And we will start with Aries and go around the board. Let's do crystal vision, one shuffle, one cut. Um, I don't like seeing the cards until you see the cards, especially when I'm reading psychically, like I'm pulling in my psychic abilities. I want to see them. All right, and then we have the Gilded Tarot. Give them a shuffle. And then the Major Arcanas. Again, more for energy. And then the Romance Angels. But of course, that's if love comes out. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with Aries. And I'm going to try to do 6 across. We'll see if I have enough room. I'm going to bring the lid down. And let's begin. Aries. Well, hello, fool. A new beginning. This is about taking a leap of faith. It's definitely about putting the past in the past. You've extracted the wisdom of the past. But to me, it feels like, I don't know, I get this feeling you're ready. Like you're ready for this new beginning. And remember, the Fool is about taking a leap of faith. I'm just looking at the 0 and just thinking how there's no beginning, no end. All right, so let's go right above it. So take on the Fool's energy. Look at this 7 of Pentacles, which I feel is your tree of life. So that tells me that a seed is coming to fruition for you. Something, when it says take on the Fool's energy, that's because some type of seed is getting ready to, let's just say, come to harvest. This is, I feel like, good news. The 7 of Pentacles, number 1, is patience. But that's because, think of it like the seeds that you plant in your garden. You don't plant and expect it to bloom overnight. You want to nurture it, give it sun. But because we're seeing the Fool, I feel like its time has arrived. 7 is also a very spiritual number. And then, Queen of Swords. For some of you, I definitely feel for some of you, this is relating to work, or some type of creative project where you're using your voice. And this feels like the perfect time. Now, this queen can represent Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So for some of you, that may be what you were waiting for, hoping for. This queen is surrounded by white doves, purity. Looks like she's lighting a flame with her sword of truth. And then let's see what energy. Strength card. Carleo. This is, I feel like what this is saying is there's something you've been working on within yourself. The strength card is definitely what the Fool is looking at. That's what the Fool carries in that knapsack, is the wisdom of my experiences. Strength card means, you've looked within. I often compare it to like taming the beast within. But it's also number 8, so it's about a new beginning. So I feel like you feel probably stronger than ever. I feel like you're now carrying the energy of courage. So connected to the Fool, this being an 8, the Fool being a 0. Hello, new beginning. But can I just say, it feels so, I want to say worth it. But really, what I feel is that your guides are proud of you, that this is your seed and this is your time. So, let's go ahead and take one romance angel over the queen just to see if this is talking about romance. Release your ex. Oh boy, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. That's exactly what you're doing with the Fool and the Strength card. You're clearing your energy. So, I don't know about this queen now, unless the queen is you, because, I don't read just like like a sword must be an air sign. This definitely speaks about speaking the truth. Some of you, I definitely feel like it's about using your voice, maybe believing now in your voice, especially if you're creating something. But let's just say that the reason you're being asked to be in the Fool's energy, which means present moment energy, is because one of these seeds are coming to fruition. So, part of the Strength card might have been clearing an ex. And interesting, I am looking at this Queen of Swords. So it can be her. We'll put that there. All right. Let's keep going. Taurus. Intuition. This is a month to really pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is going to will be speaking to you. I feel like it's going to be very clear. And chances are there's a reason why you're being called to use your intuition. I feel like, we should always use our intuition. Think of it like a muscle. And the more we use it, the stronger it becomes. But this is what your spirit guides want you to do. Like, pay attention, because chances are they're sending you signs. We have 5 of Wands. Okay, so this can be a lot of drama, a lot of fighting. Some people could say this is friendly competition. I don't know, it doesn't look friendly to me. Definitely don't get pulled into this energy. Or if you have been, because it is a 5 and it's asking for change. But your intuition should be like very clear. See what comes below it. The Death card. So I feel like whatever drama you've been dealing with, even like drama filled people, I feel like you've had enough. Death card is about transformation. It is about endings, but then it is about rebirth. So, do I love that it's moving you out of the 5 of Wands? That is free will. But I feel like that's what it's advising, like to close that door. And in the Five of Wands, I often feel like if I'm waiting for someone to, say you're right, like I'm filled with drama or what have you, I often don't feel like we get it in the Five of Wands, but I often feel like down the road where we thought we needed that clarification or someone to apologize, down the road, we probably don't even look back. Like we may look back, but we may look back and be like, look at my life now compared to the way it was. So don't ever fear the death card because it really talks about transformation and a new door opening. So no wonder your intuition is being called upon. And by the way, look at this. There's a door right behind her or right beside her. I was going to say there's a football. We just started football season tonight. All right. Major Arcana. Well, hello, Will. Hello, Destiny. Interesting because both signs so far, I feel like are talking about destiny. This one, if you just look at the woman, like she's getting ready to spin this wheel, she's got a blindfold on. And I feel like it symbolizes like blind faith, like putting my trust within my spiritual team, that wherever I land on this wheel, it's safe for me to go. I think it's more than safe though. I feel like it's where you were meant to go. Like it's timing. So, and instead of having the fool, you have intuition. So listen to your intuition. It's going to guide you. Number one, it definitely, there's no way I can deny the Five of Wands with your intuition also here. So I would simply just say, what kind of drama have you been in? And just being careful not to get pulled into it if you can help it, because I don't feel like it would serve you. I feel like I get this feeling like I want this change so badly that I'm willing to spin the wheel with a blindfold on. Now, I can turn that around and say that's also how much you're really starting to trust in your spiritual team. Things come to completion. They just do. All right. Well, let's take a romance angel. Healing family issues. Well, that makes sense with the Five of Wands. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. We saw father. All right. So that definitely would relate back to the Five of Wands. Interesting because I feel like both signs are onto something new. Something new is beginning. Aries, you may already know. And Taurus, I feel like you may not know. But I feel there's nothing to fear here. And I feel like the wheel is ready to spin, especially for those who have been trying to heal family issues. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes we're just kind of stuck with the family we have. Doesn't mean we have to get pulled into their drama, though. All right, well, let's keep going. So, Gemini, look, your card's already sticking out. Nine of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. This is inner harmony. This is beautiful. Finding inner harmony, first and foremost, this is what brings about the wishes. So you too must have been clearing energy. If we think back one card, the Eight of Cups, emotional clarity. But you are finding inner harmony in the month of September. Plus, just like everyone else, it feels like some dreams are being answered. Huh. Eight of Swords. Okay. That is a self-created prison. But you must have broken yourself free. It is an eight. In the Eight of Swords, the only one who can break you free is you. But because we have the Nine of Cups, you must have. It's like you have given yourself a new beginning. Look at that. Why? Because you felt it. This is a few different things. This is the Ace of Wands, number one. But this is passion ignited. It's sitting right under the Nine of Cups. It's almost like the fire that lights the wishes. Some of you, I feel like, you just been in this difficult place, but the power that you had to free yourself, maybe you just started to realize that. This Ace of Wands, it is action oriented. So the action would have had to been breaking free, which brings you that inner harmony and then also fulfillment of wishes. All right, well, let's take major arcana ever. Oh my. Well, number one, this is your major arcana. How interesting. The meaning of this card is ahead of a hard decision. This is the Lovers. And this is chemistry. Some of you. This is about love. I know it's your major arcana, but I do feel this is more about love. And some of you were afraid to love. Let's just say to love again. But this Ace of Wands, it's like your spirit guides igniting your heart chakra. It's like you're feeling. Don't forget the Nine of Cups is also, it's not just inner harmony, it's also fulfillment of wishes. So it feels like it was important, number one, to break yourself free of, the Eight of Swords can be like self-doubting, putting limits on myself, like I can't reach this, I can't reach that. Definitely, I feel like often talks about love. Had my heart broken, I don't want my heart broken again. But there is a necessity to free yourself, to let the next adventure begin. Let's just put it that way. As souls, we have more than one adventure in this lifetime. And this is about allowing them. So, this Ace of Wands, it's igniting your passion, but it's also action oriented. All right, let's take a romance, angels. Chemistry, the exact word that I use to explain the Lovers. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Eight of Swords or not, you won't be able to deny this. This is a feeling. I got a feeling. Right, and it's coming with the Ace of Wands. Good luck denying that. But some of you don't want to deny it. Let's just say in the Eight of Swords, we've kissed a lot of frogs, right, to find our ultimate prince or princess. But we do have to kiss a lot of frogs. And sometimes it's mainly so we know what we don't want. Going through the different vibrations of love, especially romantic love. This feels like a high vibrational love. But I feel like it has one stipulation. Did you break yourself free? And at least allow yourself to feel the energy. Doesn't mean you have to say yes. Good luck saying no, but it doesn't mean you have to say yes. Head over heart. Well, if I'm in the Eight of Swords, I'm going to follow my head. In the Ace of Wands, I'm going to follow my heart. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? All right, Cancer. Destiny. So, also the wheel. Boy, I feel like there's a lot of changes happening this month. And we keep in mind we have that total lunar eclipse, the corn moon or the harvest moon. I actually just did a video where with Otter Spirit. I did it right before this, and they sent me a pack of bracelets to wear during that time. So something told me to wear it now. But anyways, I don't know why I'm bringing it up with you. There must be a reason. See what's above destiny. The Nine of Cups, inner harmony, and fulfillment of wishes. Look at you and Gemini matching over here. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. What do you want to do today? What do you want to create today? Some of you, I feel like you may be working from home. This may be the first time you've worked from home, and you might just be loving it. Eight of Pentacles says, don't be fearful of going into something like as the apprentice, because if you focus on it, you'll only grow it. And I feel like the person becomes like the master teacher. Now, this can also answer a question relating to anything, even love, let's say. How do I know it'll be successful? Well, wherever you put your focus is what will grow. It's like whichever you feed is what grows. Whatever you feed is what grows. But it's also an 8, so I feel like it's taking a chance. And with the 9 of Cups here, I love seeing that because I feel like many of you are feeling better than you have in quite a while. All right, let's see what your major arcana is. Well, the world, that makes sense. So, completion, number 1. This is the Fool in the middle of the world. So, taking a leap of faith. But the world does mean that something came to completion. But listen, whatever came to completion has only put you in a good mood, in a good place. Like, let's say you lost a job, but then these creative sparks hit you and you start something new. You just find that you love it. Now, this means that you also, I see the wheel. We have it here. We have it under here. I thought the Gemini got the wheel. I thought I saw the wheel more than that. But anyway, so something has come to completion, but it's the opening up of something brand new. It's the next chapter. This also makes sense because we're in the final 9th year of a 9-year chapter. And next year, we're opening up a brand new 9-year cycle. So we want to think about that. How do I want my life to look for the next 9 years? This is why this year is about reflection. So you know what you want to bring along and what you don't want to bring along. All right, let's take a romance angel. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Interesting. I feel like I want to take one more of that. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So, this feels like another message about, which really is what we should always be doing, is living in the present moment, paying attention to our intuition. The red flags, I get the feeling the red flags are what were. And, as human beings, we're very good at ignoring the red flags until we start to really pay attention to our intuition. The red flags are very clear then. So I get the sense that this is like an evolution for you. Like you've had those red flags. Maybe you hung on to something, but now you're saying no more because you are finding inner harmony, because this is your destined time and it is opening up a brand new chapter. And then even the Eight of Pentacles, another eight, right? A new beginning. I love this really in all areas of your life. I feel like there's no limits. What dreams do I have? But then manifesting them. See yourself, like visualize yourself doing or being whatever it is you want. Okay. We're up to Leo. Well, look at that, Leo. Your major arcana. Strength card. Here, it's called power. And I love this image. It shows you clearly, like, this is who we are, right? We have courage within us. Interesting, you got your major arcana, as did Gemini. Go above it. We have the King of Pentacles, can be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. King of Pentacles is about looking at the big picture. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Makes me wonder about the King now. Seven of Wands is first about standing your ground. But to what point? I feel like some of you went through something pretty difficult. And I feel like you did go through it though. And I feel like if you haven't already come out with this sense of really true courage, you can or you will. Again, this is knowing oneself. That's really what I feel about the strength card. It's knowing oneself, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's like the beast within. It's not getting rid of it. It's balancing it. So it's interesting that the Seven of Wands is mirroring the King of Pentacles, where this is you standing your ground. Though many times I often feel, look at this person's like guarding this door. Interesting. Like, you guys can't come through this door. It's like a spirit guide is guarding a door for you. A door that is meant for you. And those who are not meant to enter, I get the sense of Archangel Michael. Like, I am guarding this next portal for you. And only those who deserve or who are like-minded, let's say, may enter. Interesting. All right, well, let's see what your major arcana is. Look at this, the Hangman, and look what the Hangman is in. I swear to God, I put these, like every deck. This is why I spend so much time shuffling. First thing I do is make sure every card is in the upright. How the heck did that flip around? I don't know. This is about a spiritual awakening. The first thing I feel like with the spiritual awakening is our own truth. We have to know our own truth. But this is knowing one's truth. But this is also understanding like the things that I've overcome and what they have taught me. It's a different perspective of looking at your past. Like everything has taught me something. I feel like a spiritual awakening is a process. And I do feel like it starts with one's own truth. And that's probably why it's coming over the strength card. But look at that. No wonder Archangel Michael is protecting. That's exactly what I feel. Protecting your next portal. All right, let's take a romance angel. Let your friends help you. Ask for and ask for and accept support from others. Some of you, I feel like, ask Archangel Michael to protect you, to protect what's yours, protect what is meant to be yours. Because I feel his energy so clearly with you. Okay. What do we have at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do Virgo next. And then we will pick these up and look at that. Another Leo card. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. By the way, there's my son's birthday right there. 8/12. Why do I tell you that? Because he has crossed over. And I feel he is an important component to every one of our readings. Like I feel his energy in all of our readings. And I don't mean that for me, I mean that for us. Like he just helps me now. We have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Action, Queen of Intuition. And then interesting, the Queen of Cups with sacrifice in between these two queens. Some of you, it could have been love. I get this sense that you are both queens. And I get this sense where this sacrifice comes in. I feel like it was something of an emotional nature. And it may have brought you down for a while, held you down for a while, so to speak. But I feel like now the Queen of Wands is calling you. So again, intuitive, action oriented. Think about the Queen of Wands as someone who, like the rest of us, has fallen. But this is a queen who gets back up again. Not that we all don't, but this is someone who gets back up. Like that's part of their learning experience, right? The taking and why would they fall? Because they're willing to take chances. That's why I call the Page of Wands my fool, because they're a risk taker. They think about it later. If they feel called to something, then that's what they move towards. And I get this feeling that that's what's happening here. You're being called to something. So let's take your major arcana. Look at this, the Magician. Wow, that's pretty powerful. It's almost like a cosmic reward. A cosmic? Like a karmic reward. Or maybe a cosmic reward. Magician. Powerful. The Magician reminds you that you have all the tools on the table. All the tools are on the table to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest. It's interesting because he's looking up at that King of Pentacles that belongs over to Leo, but he is looking up that way. So some of you may want to manifest a King of Pentacles. But it really feels like like you've been through something was, let's just call it a karmic lesson. And I do feel like there may have had this feeling of like something, like I had to let something go. But whatever I let go probably was blocking your growth, because I feel that this growth factor is back. And starting in a magician's energy is powerful. So, what do you want to manifest? Like, I feel like it's whatever you want. All right, let's take a romance angel with that. Let go of control issues. Hard thing to say to a Virgo. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to take one more. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. I have a feeling that's what you were doing. I don't feel like that's what it wants you to do now. Not at all. Because there's too much energy of action, of following your passions, your desires, putting yourself back in the driver's seat. And I feel like anything new that's opening up, with you having that ability to also help to bring it about, as it comes about, allow it just to unfold naturally. It's like using the power of manifestation, but then allowing it to unfold just naturally. I feel like some of you have been retreating. And you know what I love about this image? I feel like someone is like out in nature talking to what feels like a spirit guide. It feels like a father figure, but let's just say it could be anyone who I feel has loved you in this lifetime. I do feel that. Like, I feel like this is this lifetime and, other lifetimes, but I feel like I'm meant to say in this lifetime. So, a father figure, grandpa, could be a child. I mean, my son showed. So, but I feel like this is not the time. Now we're in our natural energy. By the way, I am a Virgo. We're in our natural energy now. So, let's manifest. Okay. I'm going to pick these up and we're going to continue. Flip them around. I just love seeing that spiritual awakening. Who's that for, Leo? And then Gemini, you getting, I mean, really all of them. All right. Let's put got to keep an eye on the time because I only have, oh, we got plenty of time. My computer records for 3 hours max. All right. So we were at, our last one was Virgo. So we are now moving into Libras. Let me grab a drink real quick. Okay. Libra. Ooh, authority. Card of the Emperor. Let's talk about the Emperor because it's falling under your energy. The Emperor is someone we can look up to. This is a great energy for building a business, um, helping to heal others. Again, I get this sense of protection over you. We have the Death card of Scorpio. But again, card of an ending. And then look at this Judgment. Well, this is your spiritual team, and they're calling you to the present moment. When you see, it's interesting because Judgment is calling you to the present moment. That means they're about to send you signs. And it's mirroring the Death card. So the Death card talks about endings, but then a new door that opens up. And it's kind of beautiful that your spiritual team is the one that's helping to open up this new door, this new portal. So with the Emperor in between these two, I just get the sense of power, but healing. And I get the sense that these are qualities that you have, how do I want to say this, like honed in on? Like some of you becoming just natural healers. Well, not becoming. You probably always were. But sometimes it's like going through those experiences. Because that's what I feel about the Emperor. I feel the Emperor and the Empress has had a lot of life. And I'm not talking about like they have to be old. They've gone through a lot of experiences. And a lot of them difficult. Because this is how they become such great healers themselves. The Emperor is methodical. So that could be a clue of like if there's something new you want to begin, don't be afraid to like write things down. I have, see if I can reach it. I have a book, well, wrong one, but I literally have, it's called My Scratch Pad. And it's just when I write down epiphanies that I get. That may not make any sense when I get them, but I know eventually, now I know that eventually they will. All right, let's see what major arcana comes with that. Look at that Judgment again. Two people may be called to the present moment. And if you're not listening to your spiritual team, boy, are they trying to get a hold of you. Sun, sun, everywhere, sun. Interesting. Now, it could be also two things that are coming to fruition. Like, I won't leave that off the table either. But I love it coming through the Emperor's energy. Now, for some of you, it could just mean an Emperor or mean an Aries. And the only reason I'm saying that is because Judgment is right over it, and Judgment is right below it. So something is telling me, maybe not for everyone, but it does feel like two souls being called to the present moment, like to pay attention to the signs. A door has closed, transformation has happened, and a new door is ready to open. Romance angels, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ. That's why I felt like Judgment for some of you. And I don't feel like it's for everyone because I feel like it's blessings coming your way and in different forms. So I guess whatever your intentions have been about. But anyway, your soulmate may differ from your usual type in expectations. Keep an open mind, especially if your spiritual team, well, both your spiritual teams. So, I feel like it is a soulmate. And it literally says your soulmate. And how interesting the Judgment, again, is calling you not to next month, not to next year, right here, right now. that means the signs are going to start to be sent if they haven't already been. So I accept that. All right, where are we going next? Scorpio. Financial and material changes. Also 5. Financial and material changes. We have the High Priestess, your intuition. So I feel like this is nothing you don't already know. And matter of fact, I feel like it may be something that you've been asking for. Or I say asking for, but actively trying to manifest. And then beautiful, the 3 of Pentacles. Well, where it says material and financial changes, and then you get to 3 of Pentacles, this is nothing to worry about. Because the 3 of Pentacles is about celebrating your individuality, what it is that you do in the world, no matter what it is you do. And even if a million other people do it, it's saying nobody does it like you. This is also recognition and reward. Some of you, I feel like, when it says financial and material changes, it's going up. It's getting better. There's like raises. If you work for the man, if you work from home, it's a saying, be who you are, trust who you are. Even if it's different from everyone else's, probably exactly the way it was meant to be. But also in the 3 of Pentacles, other people are admiring you. So this is why, well, I just feel like it's an increase in your money, whether it's a raise or whether it's something you're doing. This is a very creative energy. But listen, it doesn't have to mean like like I can't work for the man and still be creative. You can be. Because this is really about recognition and reward for exactly who you are. All right, let's take a major arcana. Look at that, the Emperor. Again, we have the Emperor twice in a row. But the leader of the people. Here, I feel like it is about who you're becoming. The abilities that you've had that you're now bringing to the forefront. Your natural healing abilities, which you have. And I just get the sense of like pulling all of this into one thing and creating from that. Man, your money is looking super fantastic. Now, interesting, Emperor's looking back at Judgment, almost like when is my like blow the bugler so I know it's my time. Let's take a romance angel. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Now, in the 3 of Pentacles, I often feel that I feel there's many people admiring you, but there could be someone in particular. And if it's the Emperor, did I read this? Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Make the effort. If it's the Emperor, I get the sense that you're the Emperor, or you're carrying the Emperor's energy this month, and probably from this day forward. But then I also feel like this may be talking about love. So seeing the Emperor as representing love, and also coming over the 3 of Pentacles, where it's your individuality that's being celebrated. So this isn't someone who's going to come in and be like, well, you got to change this and change that. They're already admiring you. You just may not know that yet. So it feels like love and money here. Love and money. And the high priestess, your intuition, is guiding you through all of this. Again, that energy of feeling like your hard work is paying off, but maybe in all areas. Maybe you've been working, with yourself as it relates to love also. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Sagittarius, balance. This is justice. Number 11. Interesting, because I often represent, or I often, what's the word I want to say? Um, mm, I can't think of the word, but oftentimes when I see an 11, I also think of twin flames. I'm not saying it yet, but that is the first thing that came to my mind. So this is the card of Libra. This is justice. This is about using the sword of justice so that you yourself can have balance within your life. It's cutting away anything that just is no longer serving you. Oh my. Two of Cups. Soulmate. This means you're soul connected. Do I feel like you're cutting ties with this person? I don't think so. I think this is what's coming in because it's sitting above it. Let's go below it. We have the moon. Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. The moon speaks of uncertainties, but it's also very dreamy energy if we allow it to be, mirroring the Two of Cups. I get this sense that some of you had to use this sword of justice. I don't feel like you used it, you know, so well, maybe some of you did. I was going to say, I don't feel like you used it so that true love could come in. But I do feel like you did use this sword, and this is what's opening up this new energy. So, soulmate or twin flame? Let's take a major arcana over that. Look at this, the high priestess. Look at the twos, by the way. Two, actually, well, it is a two, but it's an 11, 11, which is two ones and the two. There's synchronicities is what I'm looking at. This is all about your intuition. And your intuition guiding you even through the uncertainties. Like, I feel like don't let the uncertainty stop you because sometimes it's just merely taking a step into something. Like sometimes we want to know right away, is this going to be our ultimate person? But you can't really know that. I mean, you can feel it. But then there's a lot of free will that goes into that. It can be your person. But let's say, I don't know, let's say you never used that sword. Could that hold up the time? It could. Why? Because I feel like you wouldn't be ready. And I feel like you want to be ready for this. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Coming over the moon, I feel like what it's saying is don't worry so much. Allow divine to help you in love. This definitely feels like love. And the moon, though, again, I do feel it's going to be very dreamy. But I also want to say, remember that the two of you, are writing your book as you go along. So we can go back and look at like the Eight of Pentacles, right? What I focus on is what I grow. And you can focus on more than one thing. So both soulmates, which why wouldn't they at this point? Because I feel like it's meant to happen. If they focus on each other, their love will only continue to blossom. This means that you're soul connected. You'll probably have this feeling, like this feeling of familiar. You're like, oh, you feel familiar to me. Well, it's because you do know each other. Okay, well, let's keep going. It's hard for me to do these short readings because I want to go deeper, but that's not what we're doing today. So where are we at? We are in Capricorn. Wisdom. Wisdom. Number 5. This is the Hierophant. So again, 5, change. It really does speak about graceful change, though. The Hierophant is, the change. I feel like it's asking you to ask yourself is about your morals. It's interesting because I feel like this person is like looking at this house, and I get this sense that this person knows who lives in this house. And it's almost like if my morals don't align with whoever lives in this house, chances are it won't work. Why am I feeling that? I'm even noticing the book, which I'm assuming is a Bible. I mean, I guess what religion, it depends. But, I just get this feeling. This person knows who lives in that house. I get this feeling this person understands that I myself must be of a certain energy. That just means I need to know that I'm living life according to my morals. Or needing to really look at my morals if there's someone that lives in this house that I want to be with. Interesting. And then the little doggy is like the spirit guide guiding you towards this house. This is a card of Taurus, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning. But let's go above it. Look at this, another 5. Some of you already know who this person is. And that's why I'm feeling that is interesting. Because I get this sense, listen, it's either you like already knowing someone who lives in his house, or it's the other way around. I feel like you do know each other with the 5 of Cups. So I feel like there must be some type of history there. Doesn't mean that the two of you have like been lovers or that type of thing. Just maybe someone who was a great friend or what have you. But this 5 is about where you're focusing. This is focusing on the cups that have been knocked over. But literally, again, 5 being a change, what's behind this person or what's behind the change is soulmates. And it's sitting right next to soulmates. How interesting. So behind her lies the soulmates. Some of you know that a soulmate lives in that house, or someone is looking at your house like that is where my soulmate lives. Oh my God, 555. 3 5s. 5 of Pentacles can feel like a tower. It can mean something that happens outside of your control. And I don't feel like in the 5 of Pentacles we have the luxury of doing nothing about it, like we have to keep on moving. But I feel in the 5 of Pentacles what you're moving to is to soulmate type energy. Compassionate, like your people. Compassionate people. Empathetic people. loving people. So even though this sometimes hurts or gives disruption to our lives, with these 3 fives, they were meant to happen. Like it was meant to happen. Because maybe otherwise, you never would have started looking at that house. Now, I don't mean this in a creepy way where someone's outside your house staring at you or staring at your house. I don't feel that. That's not really what I mean. Like, I don't know if someone is like literally, well, no, I don't even want to say that. But they may know, like, all right, I know where my soulmate lives. And they may want to come close. Will you let them? Or if it's the other way around, will you let them in? All right, let's see what your major arcana is. Oh my gosh, the star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Wow. This is about dreams coming true, but it has to be after the fact. I feel like there are some action steps that you might have to take. But let's not forget, these major arcanas are the energy that our spirit guides want you to take on. So saying to yourself that these dreams, these wishes I have, they can come true. But with these fives, I may need to make a change, or I may need to take a step forward into it. Again, I feel like the majority of you already know who this is. All right, let's take a romance angel on that. Love yourself first. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. It's coming over a difficult card, the Five of Pentacles. So maybe you haven't felt this way, but maybe someone's showing you, or they will be showing you. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm like, I get this feeling like, am I having a hard time loving myself? And if I am, is it in the five? Is it in the Hierophant's energy? Like, am I living according to my real morals? And if I'm not, why? And if I'm not, is it hurting my life? Because these fives are asking for change. Now, maybe not all the fives are your fives. Just like before, I feel like I want to take one more look at this. One more. Very soon. Well, this makes sense. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Some of you, it's a decision. These fives, it's up to you to clear them, like, or to say, like the Five of Cups is where, again, I may be focusing on what I've lost. It is of the past. But it's really telling you that your love life isn't over. Matter of fact, you're just about to meet, if you haven't already, your true soulmate. I mean, there it is, right behind the five, which is exactly where the cups sit. It is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And I feel like the Five of Pentacles, where it's saying love yourself first, I feel like that was part of the process. But now I feel like you're jumping more into what's new, what's next. Well, you have a lot to say. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Maybe it's even a necessity. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't make any decisions, well, then what will change? But anyway, I don't want to put a negative tone on it. All right, well, let's keep going. Aquarius. Interesting, we have Aquarius right before. Choose wisely. Seven of Cups. An emotional decision. You know, this can talk about something that happens during a chaotic moment, a chaotic time. I don't know why, but I'm picturing like some of you in this traffic jam, and then someone pulls up to you and you just glance over and you're like, wow, well, there's something special about them. And they glance over. Like, you never know, you never know, you never know. All right, so what are you trying to decide? Three of Cups. That is the energy of joy. It really talks about rejoicing and celebration. So it makes me feel like you choose the cup. It puts you definitely in the energy of joy. And look at this, the tower. So the tower has already happened. And that could be why, the Seven of Cups, it can be hard to make the choice. And if the energy is chaotic, then just kind of center yourself. Because again, these messages are from your spirit guides. So that means they're going to help you each and every step. Just be open to it. So this cup that's being offered, it's telling you that it gives you a reason to celebrate. It is the energy of joy after a tower. But that means an ending. But probably an ending that needed to happen. Some of you may be still recovering from this. And that may be why the Seven of Cups is showing, right? It's like, making a decision after the tower, like an emotional decision. Am I ready? Oh, you know what? Oh, I put that in the wrong place. Okay, let's see your major arcana. Hierophant. Look at that. Hierophant again. Um, Sitting right next to the Hierophant. I find it interesting how these readings are kind of relating to each other. But of course they will, because some of you are connected to another one. Card of Taurus. I don't know if I said that the first time. So it wants you to ask yourself the questions. Let's say this tower, chances are, who's ever connected to it or whatever is connected to it, feels like it was holding you back. Because I feel like this change is what brings you joy. And if this has anything to do with love, I feel like it's the difference of the way we choose to live our lives. Like, I feel this certainty of how you want to live your life. Um, what I really feel is that if you're going to fall in love, then you want it to be a like-minded energy. It's like saying, I've come so far. I'm not going to lower my energy to be with anyone else. And I feel like one of the things you may be checking out as this cup comes towards you is their own morals, their own self-respect. This Hierophant always feels like he's about to give a blessing. All right, romance angels. Whoa, 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 whoa. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, it is coming over the tower, but let's just say, though, this is meant to bring you joy. And I do want to say, this is not about lowering your vibration. Quite the opposite. because I feel like-minded. And I just love how they're above the clouds. To me, that represents past lives. I feel like I want to take one more again. Free yourself, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow. It's time to take back control of your life. Coming over the tower. Take back control of your life. That means anything that's coming in when you have control of your life, you're making these decisions in these fives, right? But again, it's like this is meant to bring you joy. So freeing yourself, I feel like, is from the tower's energy. Like, don't let it get in between you and the joy that is meant for you. Okay, Pisces, last but certainly not least. Hello, light, the sun, another card of Leo. Your illuminator. The sun feels like a brand new day, unencumbered. Anything done in the dark will come to the light. No doubt about it. It is like feeling like a kid again. I love the energy of the sun. Look at this, the magician. Powerful, powerful energy. I mean, manifesting out of light energy. What will that bring you back? More light. Versus if this was like the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords, manifesting out of dark energy. What will that bring me back? Dark energy. So I feel like you know that. And, just so we don't forget, 2026 is going to be the year of the magician. But I never feel like we have to wait. Like, if we've done the clarity or the clearing or even the reflection that the hermit has asked for, because we're in the year of the hermit, well, then opens up the new cycle for us. Three of Swords. But listen, the sun is illuminating this. And I already know there's no way you want to repeat the Three of Swords. So it must have been something you've been through. But listen, I feel like its day is over. That's why it's at the bottom. The magician is above. And she's actually looking right up, and she's actually reaching towards the magician. Let's take one more here. Look at that, the Seven of Cups. Making a decision, an emotional decision. But I feel like also, with the Three of Swords and the Sun, it's kind of like where if there are red flags, you're going to see them. You're going to see them. I don't feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like it's helping to ease the mind. But I do feel like I'm manifesting a cup. And then I have to make that decision. Like, holy shit, did I just manifest this? All right, let's see what your major arcana, the Fool. Here we go. So that Three of Swords in the past. And I know I say that so easily, like in the past. But hopefully that's the way it is. The Fool with the Sun. The Sun is at your back. The Magician, the Fool's greatest mentor, is right above the Fool. Truly, if you want to learn tarot, that's one of the things you want to learn. Like the Fool meets the Magician, his mentor. The Fool teaches the Magician teaches the Fool You possess all the tools that you need. There is that knapsack. That's just the wisdom. The Fool is free and clear. Now, that doesn't mean I'm like not attached to something that maybe I don't want to be attached to, but my mind is free and clear. I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go. And for some of you, I know you know who you want. But this is another one where I don't want to put a limit on it because I feel like it's whatever you want to manifest. What beautiful energy. Like the sun is at your back. This speaks about a period where it really will, let's just say you feel like a kid again. But then you have the power of the magician. Pretty freaking powerful. Oh my. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. That's why I felt love. And I feel like some of you are really gonna be like, holy shit, I literally called in a soulmate. Because this is powerful energy. And again, I feel the energy of, I don't know why, but like Archangel Michael. I just feel this protection really over everyone, over all of us. It's almost like Archangel Michael isn't going to allow lower vibrational energy to get in your way. Claim your own power. But then I feel like, and then Archangel Michael's like, I have your back. I have your front. I am all around you. I am your protector. Wow. Okay, so I was curious how much we would get out of doing these, like for an individual, like each one on an individual level. But I feel like we got a lot out of it. So I'm going to let that be so my time doesn't run out. I will timestamp these. I would love to hear your comments. Let me know how you related, if how you even liked it, like how you like this format. As it relates to like all signs. I loved it in the month of September, doing the individual signs, but then I asked 6 specific questions. I feel like our spirit guides were on top of it. On top of it. So this is a spread that I will keep in my back pocket. All right, but I'm going to let that be so I don't run out of time. I love you all so much. Happy September. Remember, we have the corn moon or the harvest moon. Harvest Moon, Neil Young, one of my favorite songs. Then the total lunar eclipse. Connected. This may be why I feel the power in these readings. And sometimes I don't know, sometimes I feel like I get too excited. But I want you to know that's what I'm feeling. That's what our spirit guides are putting in me. And that's really how I read, by what I'm feeling. So, I love it. I love you. I'll see you guys next time at our table. Bye bye.